Hello and welcome back to our series of videos. My name is Francisco and I work for Virtual CNS. And here we're talking about Office 365 and how powerful this application can be for your business in this case. We talked about before in the past couple of videos. Let's go back to the main, to show you the main application. Once you go to office.com. As you guys can see here, we have all the basics, okay? We have the Excel, we talk about calendars, we talk about Word document, for example, PowerPoint, Outlook, of course, on how to check our emails, all the basics, okay? Now we're gonna get into a little bit about how you can actually integrate these, maybe a little more complex scenarios. Not really complex, but in reality, something that is not really as popular when it comes to a Microsoft product and a small business. In this case, it's called Forms. Okay. Again, we're gonna actually show you the basics of Forms, maybe get you an idea of what Microsoft Forms can do for you, and then again, how all the possibilities of how to use this and how far you really can go when it comes to this. Again, this is not a normal type of application that you would use right out of the box. Typically, in a regular business, a small business, will actually use emails, document sharing, SharePoint, OneDrive, and this is an option. Okay, it's an option where you're going to start integrating your business and making it more efficient. Okay, because a lot of the business that we actually help, sometimes they go very. What they hear out there is, oh yeah, you have to send emails back and forth, and then you're going to do some QuickBooks, and maybe you're going to have a CRM. Again, this is where you can actually start thinking about options, what you can do. Maybe you want to bring those applications that you have already and start migrating that into Microsoft Office 365. That way, the integration between your applications are much more easy. So let's actually talk about this. What is Microsoft Forms? Microsoft Forms, as you guys can see in this welcome page, it allows you to create surveys. You can actually create quizzes as well, and also analyze different data, for example. So let's do that. Let's actually create a form. So while I talk about this, and while I start playing with this particular new form, you guys can understand exactly what are the possibilities. Obviously, we're going to do something basic, but then obviously how much really you can do with this. So in here, we're going to talk about that. So we're going to do a form. Let's actually, new leads. Let's actually assume that this is going to be a form that you can actually have available to bring in some information. In this case, maybe new leads, new potential clients. Okay. So in here, we're going to do forms related to new leads or new clients, something like that. Okay, so we're gonna add a choice. Okay, and this is where we start actually asking some questions. Okay, for example, I was gonna say, how do you find us? Here you have option 1, Google. You have option 2, Yahoo. Okay. And so you see how automatically, I didn't have to even click on save, anything like that. Just click around on the right side and it saved that automatically for me. So we're going to talk about, we're going to do some ratings if you want to. I'm going to say, how would you rate our company? Again, I'm just giving up some options. I mean, I'm not really, maybe in some of these scenarios, I'm not making too much sense of this, but I'm just trying to provide an option. So here you see, automatically classify for me, so that you can have an option for people to answer. We're going to put some dates. What is today's date? Something like that. Okay. And then we're going to have a question. Yeah, here a question. What is your name? Maybe, of course, again, this is not really organized, but maybe this is a question that has to be all the way at the top. I'm just trying to give you some examples. Let's see if there's another type of things that we can do here. Ranking, file upload, you can actually upload. Oh, wow, Net Promoter Score, interesting. Just to upload. This is nice. Okay, yeah, this is cool. So again, I just created a form. This is a form that the way you will look out there in any website. Okay. Now, how do we do this? How do we publish this? On the right side here, there's a preview button. And here's the form. So, but what I did is I just created a form. You can actually have this on a computer on a mobile, and you can actually embed this into your website if you really wanted to. Again, you can embed this in different ways. You can do this internally, you can do this externally. You can do anything you want as far as that goes. But again, the most important thing is what I'm going to show you next. Okay, let's actually do a mobile. You see, this is how the mobile will look if you actually access this through a mobile or through a computer. So let's actually do this. Let's just fill this out. Frank, for example, and I'm gonna upload a photo, maybe something, maybe a PDF. Yeah, something like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna submit it. So what just happened here is that I just created a form, you submit it, and then obviously if you go back here, you are gonna have the results available to you. Again, this can be positioned somewhere around Microsoft Office 365. Maybe it can be positioned here under forms. Maybe it's going to be linked as an email. Maybe it's going to, I mean, you can do different type of things that are more advanced, but in here, the data is here, okay? So here's you have some information, the answers, for example, some average, depending on that, and then you have here in Excel, if you really want to open that in Excel, to be able to understand exactly and process this depending on what you do. So again, this is something that's what Microsoft Form does for you. Okay. So some people use this depending on the situation. If you want to create new leads, or maybe you want to have some data, maybe you have a survey that you want to actually request internally in your organization. And then this is nice to have, because again, this all data, all this type of data integrates back to Microsoft Office 365. So at the end of the day, you have the full functionality available. And the good thing about this is that you can integrate it with other applications depending on your business. At the end of the day, it's just about your imagination of what you can do. And the main thing, as you guys can see, all the applications are typically very easy to use and very easy to learn at the end of the day. And this is the end of the video. Thanks again for watching the video. And then if you have any questions, you can send us an email to info@virtualcns.com, and we'll be happy to help you. Thanks again.